This is Harry Davies from Mirror Fighting. I'm joined by Daniel O'Reilly, better known as Dapper Laughs, ahead of his Misfits debut this Friday, York Hall against Simple Simon Coburn. Just finished up the open workouts. Daniel, how you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling sharp, feeling fresh, feeling fit.
So we're going into this fight with Simon. I was sort of chatting to him yesterday, joking that it's nice for him to fight someone near enough his own age because he fought 19-year-old Ed Matthews last year. But as I was mentioning to your camera there, the open workouts went quite well. People saying this is going to be a bit of a mismatch because you look good on the pads.
Mate, yeah, look, listen, it's a funny one because some people go into this influencer boxing scene to learn to box and to make a name for himself. I box, right? And I've been learning to box for years on and off. Never really been able to stick at it for long because of, drinking, the sesh and everything like that. But this time round, I'm a year sober, and for the whole year, I've been dedicated to boxing every day, apart from Sundays. So I'm learning the art of boxing. Do you know what I mean? I'm really trying to learn the craft of it and do it right. I want to look good doing it. So yeah, I think that came across on the pads.
Mm. When did you first lace up the gloves? Because I remember before COVID, it was the Fame MMA card, and you fought So Solid Star Crew Harvey, and obviously that was MMA. It's a different ball game. But did you do boxing a long time before that, or has it sort of been a
Yeah,
post?
yeah. I boxed before that. I had a white collar bout. Again, I didn't take it seriously though, and I was just windmilling. I was just down there, and wanted to be around boxing, but I wasn't ever disciplined enough to, when you go and learn to box, fitness is the first thing. You have to get in a serious shape to even be able to last around. So I could never really pick up enough experience sparring and stuff because my fitness wouldn't let me. But now I'm the fittest I've ever been. I've lost 2 stone over this last year. I'm over 2 stone. And I'm sparring serious boxers. So yeah.
Is there any worry, given how fit you are and how much you're backing your abilities, that this might be over and sort of quickly? I know Simon's backing himself too, but you like I said, you look good on the pads, and he's a bit older than you. What are your sort of predictions for his one?
Well, look, listen. I actually I didn't know really much about Simon apart from the fact that he fought Ed Matthews and he didn't do himself proud. He mugged himself off a little bit. Didn't look like a good boxer and was put down quite quick. That's all I knew of him. I didn't know him, but since we've sort of started this to and fro and having some fun online, I've been talking to him. We have had a couple of conversations, and I've met him here on the Misfits, and he's actually a really nice guy. And I hope that he can redeem himself a little bit and get a bit of redemption and actually showcase a little bit of boxing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping it ain't over quick. I'm hoping that we get to both put on a show and have a good boxing match. I'm not going there for a fight. That's what him and Ed Matthews had, was a fight. People mistake the fighting for actual boxing. So fingers crossed that he comes with heart and the ability to push through, but that's down to him.
You touched on it there, but he seems to wind up a lot of people online, but it's almost like he knows what he's doing. What do you sort of make of him as a person and his sort of online persona? Because I'm sure he like I said, he knows what he's doing, but he seems like a nice guy deep down.
His angle is to be the butt of the joke, you know what I mean? And he does stupid things online in order to get a response, and it gets a great response. It gets a lot of numbers and stuff like that. But I think secretly, deep down inside, that doesn't bring him happiness. I think it really damages his mental health because as a result of that, he gets trolled heavily. And I said this when we done a face to face. I said I've got the utmost respect to anyone that boxes. I'm all about mental health. This is my mental health group that I'm using this fight to promote. And unless someone disrespects me, I'll always show them the greatest respect. And I said to him that I hope that maybe after this, if people can take you a little bit more seriously, you'd have the courage to show your true self online. That's what I do. I'm all about authenticity. Through my comedy, through my sketches and everything I do, I show the good times and the bad times, vulnerability. Me, I try and show lads out there that it's essential to be honest and genuine. So I hope he finds that. People I think would like him a lot more because he's got a lovely personality.
We spoke about that, and I sort of said to him, his fight with Ed was it got very ugly. Lots of personal stuff traded, and this one with you, other than you calling him a simple sausage, which is all a bit of fun, he sort of said, I actually really like Daniel. He's doing good stuff for mental health. So is it quite nice to fight someone where that stuff, like I mentioned with Ed, isn't involved in it pre-fight?
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, ultimately, the truth of it is, if you go to a proper boxing gym and you train with proper boxers and boxing coaches, they demand respect from you, and you have to respect everyone in there. Do you know what I mean? Because you can get hurt, right? So, really, in the true sense of the word, boxing should be about respect until it goes until something. I mean, I'm sure if I was doing this with someone that was slagging me off, I'd be completely different. Do you know what I mean? And there is plenty of people online that are doing it. And when we go in there, I don't. It depends what mindset you put. If you're treating it as a fight and you go, oh, I want to go in there and I want to hurt the geezer and I want to smash him to pieces, then you've got to do all of this trash talk and blah blah. But I don't look at it like that. I'm looking at it like it's a boxing match. You know, it's a skill set that we're both going to exchange. There doesn't have to be malice in it. Do you know what I mean?
You mentioned on
Mm.
the training there, so I just wanted to ask, what's the daily sort of routine been for like you in camp, and where's your sort of most of your training been based? Have you been training with anyone in particular, or how have things been in fight camp?
Do you know what? My life hasn't changed when I got the only basically I will the boys in the gym. Yeah, there's a group of maybe about 10 to 15 of us that are all of the lads. You know, are fighting at different times at different levels. Some of them are like white collar, you know, and they're all on shows, right? So at any one given time, somebody is on a fight camp, right? And we all fit into it and we all help each other, right? So I got a phone call, you know, a few weeks ago. It was only a few 2, 3 weeks ago that said I was on the show. Nothing really changed for me, man. I've been training my absolute arse off 5:30 in the morning every morning for over a year, right? And then running on the Sundays and sparring 3 times a week. I've just continued to do that. I'm fight ready.
I watched a clip of you saying about how when you do sort of skits, you know when it's going to go viral. And one that recently went viral was after the KSI Tommy Fury fight. I think you said you messaged KSI's manager, had a little bit of fun with that. But what was that? What were your thoughts on that fight were? And I saw that that was a good clip. Just talk to me a bit about that.
Listen, again, I'm not one of these people that's looking for smoke, right? I'm looking to raise my profile so I can raise the profile of my mental health charities. So I would be lying if I said that I think I could take KSI. I think he's fit. I think he's strong. He's experienced. He's been under the big lights. Him, Tommy Fury, I think would wipe the absolute floor with me. It would be embarrassing, right? So let me just get that out of the way. But his style and technique is too easy to take the piss out of when you're a comedian. And I wasn't planning on coming on Misfits. Do you know what I mean? I was speaking to him, but I just found it funny. You know what I mean? And it was a light-hearted joke. I think if as long as there's no malice in what you're doing and there's no personal attacks, it's all fair game. But yeah, I did message Mams just and say, look, I've done this video, mate. You know, it's about your boy because it's business at the end of the day. I was like, I hope you don't mind. And he was cool with it. He said, "Mate, if I didn't have a sense of humour, I wouldn't be following you." And I was like, "Yeah," but I didn't get a response from KSI luckily because I wouldn't have liked that. But I'll tell you what, I did get loads of his fans kicking off. Do you know what I mean? I had one because I was taking the piss out of him hugging, and yeah, one of them got really annoyed about it and was saying that he beat me up and and all this. And I said, "It sounds like you need a hug. So why don't you ask KSI? He can do about 70 of them around," and that went viral. So it's just best left alone sometimes, isn't it?
Simon told me yesterday he thinks he could have both KSI and Tommy at the same time.
Yeah, he's winding you up, and he's trying to get a reaction.
So mentioning that on the call to Mams, how did this come about? Did you phone him? Did he phone you? And is this going to be a one-off thing? Or I know you're on tour at the end of January, I believe. Maybe one more after this if it goes well.
Mate, I'm up for it. I'm up to continue fighting. Do you know what I mean? I'm training anyway. I'm my boxing training ain't gonna stop. It's part of my life now. It keeps me sober, keeps my head straight. It gives me the ability to beat the day before it starts to beat me. And so I'm game, mate. I want to see how far I can go with it. And it came about just by Mams follows me, and I DM'd him a couple of times about some of the fighters on his roster messing around, saying light work and all of this stuff. And then he sort of liked a few of my videos, of me training and stuff like that. So I could see that they were sort of tuned in, that I was boxing. And yeah, he just responded to a video. I said, looking good. And I just said, well, look, I'm ready when you are. Where's the call? He tried to get me on a couple of shows before and offered me some. I won't name any names, but he offered me a couple of fighters, and they didn't want to fight. Simon said, yeah. Do you know what I mean? He offered me out to a couple of people, and Simon was game. So I can only fight who they put in front of me, but I'm up for it.
The new most feared man in Misfits, Daniel O'Reilly.
Imagine. I think I'm looking good though. I'd like to make an impact, man.